Hello, On. This is your summer solstice reading. Thank you so much for reaching out to me. The summer solstice is a time when the sun is the longest day, or stays out the longest. Sunset is at the latest point. And there's a lot of energy coming in right now. A lot of things are growing, a lot of things are progressing. It can be a lot, it can seem overwhelming because there's just so much going on. That's why it's really important for us to ground ourselves in this, take all of that in, so that we may begin to release again as the sun is going to start moving south again, and the days will start to get shorter, all the way up to the winter solstice around Christmas time when the day is the shortest. So for this spread, I wanted to really incorporate the cardinal directions, the elements they represent, give us that kind of grounded energy from all around us, a message from the universe from all four sides, all four coordinates. And so we kind of get a general foundation, a very good idea of, all right, where are we heading now until the winter solstice. So for the North card, which is the element of water, is all about our spiritual and emotional illumination. And you have gotten the Hermit card. I can't remember if I pulled this card for you or not, but this is definitely fitting. The Hermit is a major arcana card, so like I've mentioned before, the tarot deck is split into two decks, the minor arcana and the major arcana, the playing card deck, and then 22 extra cards. And this right here is one of the major arcana cards, and this is the Hermit. He has the lantern of illumination, he has a staff for guidance and support, and he has his cloak of divinity, and he is kind of shrouded in mystery. He is on a mountaintop alone in the woods, becoming one with nature, being alone with his thoughts, being completely alone, separated from the outside world in order to receive those messages from the universe and that spiritual guidance and wisdom. So right now, this is definitely saying you should really find what illuminates you and what you are interested in, and definitely research more, learn more, and take some more time for you where you are alone, meditating without anyone disrupting you, and really seeking that spiritual guidance, that spiritual fulfillment, learning those things that you're interested in regards to spirituality, in terms of tarot or astrology or just anything. One thing that I think would be particularly interesting for you to look into, this is something that one of my friends mentioned yesterday, is there's a book by a Japanese scientist called The Hidden Messages of Water. And if you haven't heard of the book, essentially he talked to water different ways, or had water bottles that were covered with different sayings, either positive or negative, like hello, or I hate you, or gratitude, etc. And what he found was that when he froze those droplets, that the positive words had beautiful, intricate patterns, and then the negative words, there wasn't really a pattern. But it's a very interesting, that small little book kind of gave me a whole new look on what we say, how we're saying it, what our purpose is, just adding that spiritual element to water, which was something that was important in my work. So finding for yourself too, really delving into those spiritual matters, things that you are spiritually interested in, because there's a lot of energy coming at us, there's a lot of upgrades, there's a lot of downloads, there's a lot of information to process. But be sure that you are going inward too, and really processing where you are on your emotional journey, your spiritual journey, where you're wanting to be, what you're wanting to manifest, how you're wanting to change the world. When we go to the west direction, which is the element of earth, we have manifestation on the physical material plane. And we have the 9 of Cups, which is interesting because we also have the 9 of Swords for the south position. So 9 is a really important number for you right now, and 9 is a very spiritual number as well. It's all about universal love. Anything you add to 9 in numerology becomes itself, because 9 is kind of this placeholder. 3 plus 9 equals 12, which 1 plus 2 equals 3. You can do those with all the different numbers, and every time you have a 9 in numerology, when you're simplifying numbers into into a single digit, 9 you can actually cross off, because you know that 9 isn't going to add any of the value of its own. It's going to absorb, become everything around it. So that's very much too, like with this whole Hermit card. 9 is a very spiritual number. The cups are about spirit, emotion, etc., which is interesting, having it in the West, which is East. It's all about manifesting that too. It's all about bringing that into, it makes no use to be a philosopher, have all these grand ideas, but then you never write anything, so no one ever is going to be able to gain illumination from your thought or from your philosophical or spiritual understanding. So really grounding that spiritualism that you are feeling. I'm definitely seeing writing, which is interesting, because we do have 2 cards, which are swords, which are both writing as well. So definitely reading more in the spiritual world, or things that interest you outside of just the regular, outside of the industry, outside of, pop culture, those spiritual things we're interested in. There's so many things out there to learn and to know and to become aware of, like Reiki as well, which might interest you looking into as well. Anyway, definitely grounding, manifesting that which you are spiritually seeing. There's a lot of ideas to be had. There's a lot of things that we've always dreamed about doing, or have had these fantasies for a while, and we've kind of put them off sometimes because we think that it'll never be possible. And now we are starting to realize, oh wait, everything that I have dreamt of can be materialized. I just have to put the time, energy, effort, and willpower into it in order to make that happen. So those things that you're spiritually interested in, be sure to ground those and bring that into your practice too. I'm also friends with a lot of other hair people as well, and it's interesting how many of you guys are so naturally into the spirit realm, which is, makes sense, because you guys are healers and you're transmuting people, but you're also in that crown chakra energy. You're in people's heads. People feel very comfortable. They're very vulnerable. And one of my friends was talking about how she felt she couldn't post her spiritual or oracle card stuff on her Instagram because it's her professional page. And I was just thinking about how there really doesn't need to be a separation between the spiritual interests and hair. I definitely feel like there's a lot of receptive energy towards that, and that's something that maybe you want to be more open about, or discuss more, or have those conversations with other hair people. Venus as well just comes to mind with astrology, because Venus is all about hair, vanity, beauty, and so Venus placement definitely can, have a impact on you're having a good or bad hair day. There's other things that you could tie in, and not saying that it has to be with just hair either. I just know that that's what you do, and there's definitely a spiritual side to that, and so definitely manifesting that more, and whatever that means, bringing that out more, even if there's some kind of spiritual hair products with crystals in it or something like that, Palo Santo hair products, etc. There's so many ideas to be had, and I definitely think opening, getting more in touch more with this Hermit card, more into your spiritual center, grounding that spiritual nature into your daily life, making it a ritual for you. And then we come to the card of the South, which is fire, all about our passionate and creative impulses. And we have the 9 of Swords. This is the 9 of Spades in the playing card deck. Swords are about thoughts, words, and actions, and the element of air. So having this in the fire as well, we're like breathing fire into the air. We have, we're breathing air into the fire. We're blowing, when you blow on those hot coals, you make it even hotter. When you blow on Palo Santo, you're burning it brighter, burning more, releasing more of that beautiful smoke that fills the air. And those are also our words too. We can choose what we want to emit from our vocal cords, and they can be positive things or negative things, which ties into that hidden messages of water as well, and how your words can have an impact on someone. So your passion and creative impulses. So 9 is a number, like I said before, of spiritualism, universal love. It's the universal giver, absorbing, becoming that which you are around. And definitely feel like with the swords being thoughts, words, and actions, this is more writing too, communicating, talking, conversing, becoming passionate about what becoming vocal about what you're passionate about. You're a teacher as well, and so definitely sharing that story of where you've come from, how you've progressed, how you've come to this realization of who you are and your own self-illumination, and what you know to be true, and etc. Definitely seeing writing more. I don't know what that entails. I don't know if that's blog posts. I don't know if that's Instagram, social media stuff, talking to people. You're so connected to asking other hair people or industry people what their how the spiritual side's related, or the positive charitable things that people are doing, or the things that you can share, the gifts of the spirit that you have to give, and definitely talking about it more, writing about it more, making videos, making whatever you want to create, but definitely having that conversation, stirring that conversation, because you have a large network that you can reach out. You have people that you are reaching, you have a voice. What do you want to do with that voice? What's the spiritual message that you want to give? What is the good, positive, loving earth energy that you want to share, and becoming passionate about that, passionate about whatever charitable organization that you really are fond of or want to support. That's definitely going to bring that fulfillment and that creative passion, energy, and we all want to feel spiritually fulfilled. So that's interesting, bringing us to the east, which is the element of air, which is thoughts, words, and actions. Thoughts, writings, words, and debates is how I described it in this reading. And we have the page of swords. So the page is a learner, he is an apprentice, and the swords, like I said before, are all about thoughts, words, and actions. So this is very well placed, this element of air. There's a lot of air energy with this. There's a lot of information coming to you. There's a lot of things that you are wanting to learn. There are a lot of people that have sparked an interest in your thought process. There's a lot of philosophical ideas, philosophical ways of thinking of things, metaphysical ways of thinking of things, magical ways of thinking of things. A lot of thoughts happening, and it's okay to just let your mind wander and think of these things and let them flow, and be sure to write down these messages that you're getting. If you have an amazing dream, be sure to write it down in a dream journal. Have that sketchbook that you're writing these ideas down, these inspirations, these drawings, these vivid, imaginative visualizations that you see in your mind. When you get those, be sure to capture those. Don't just let them float away. You're learning how to incorporate all of this together. You're learning how to talk more. It seems like maybe talking in public wasn't something you were initially comfortable with, and now you're coming more into that ability to talk, ability to feel comfortable being you, talking about the things that you're interested in and others are interested in, and having that conversation, sparking that debate, sparking that. I think now everyone is so riled up about all the politics that are going on, but that can be good in a way too, because we're talking about things we haven't talked about before. We're having new ways of thinking of things. We're having new ways of protesting, new ways of coming together on the internet. And so you are becoming a learner in, okay, where's my role in this and how am I going to spark debate? What are the things that I'm interested in? What do I want to know more about? And really, what do I want to share with the world? I'm getting this idea of like this message, like you're really wanting to share this message. You're learning what that message is for you. What is that message that you're wanting to share? And it seems like things are going in a good path, and that this is a lot of energy right now, and you are moving through and working through a lot, and a lot of major transitions are coming. But it's okay to, for the moment now, feel amazing and feel grateful and really feel in this place of thanks and gratitude for where you are and where you are heading, because that's going to bring more of that goodness to you. So really letting yourself soak that in, really feeling it, really experiencing your mind and your body and your soul and being in it, and allowing the goodness to flow and allowing yourself to appreciate it, not feeling so anxious about feeling guilty about enjoying yourself, but really enjoying yourself, really taking time to love yourself and come into that state of love for yourself that's so strong that, you know, we can only love others as much as we love ourselves, and others can only love us as much as we love ourselves. So really loving ourselves as much as possible so that we can allow others to love ourselves as well and allow us to love others, and that, you know, our love for the universe comes from a love for ourselves. So I wish you the best on this summer solstice. I hope this reading was helpful for you. I'm growing every day, and my readings are changing all the time, and I'm so grateful to have done this fair last weekend where we read for a ton of people, and now it just seems to be really cool how many people and the cool people that are reaching out to me wanting some cards and guidance. So I hope this was helpful for you, and I hope that you have a wonderful summertime, and be sure to enjoy it, celebrate it, and I hope to meet you in the very near future.